We're going to be listening to and reacting to the brand new Machine Gun Kelly album, Lost Americana.
This is his 7th studio album, and from what we've heard from the singles, it might be a move away from the recent pop-punk genre that he's been in, so I'm quite interested to see what he does with this album.
I really enjoyed some of his pop-punk work, especially the first album, Tickets to My Downfall, was, in my opinion, one of the best pop-punk albums of the last decade. I'd go that far. So I'm intrigued to see if this is a new sound, and if so, if he does a good job of it.
Let's jump into the first track, which is Outlaw Overture.
I feel like I'm on an alien ship.
It's very video gamey, doesn't it? I like that heavily distorted guitar. At least I'm presuming it's a guitar. Could be a synth.
This is a very strange start.
Nice drum sound, to be fair.
Yeah.
It's got indie vibes, hasn't it?
Yeah, it still sounds very punky because of his vocals in a strange way, but yeah, it sounds like some early European indie tracks.
Blank till my life goes to shit. I know I do that on purpose just to write again.
Oh, I liked that. I liked that.
Got rid of the electronic vibes now. More just straight up. Wait, it's not even straight up rock. I don't even know what to say. It's weird still.
It's in a weird mixture genre, isn't it?
Drums satisfying there.
Yeah. Putting a lot of emphasis on his words there, like all the B's are very plosive.
This here with the harmonizing vocals and the slight guitar picks in the background, I like this.
Wow.
That was a complete switch up.
Same song?
I was not expecting that. The way that transitioned was really cool though. I've quite liked the way that he switched the vocals up in this bit. There was the more like almost rap section, and then you've got still the little harmonized vocals. I'm quite impressed by how well he's tread the line.
Mm-hmm. Cool introduction to the album. I think he's definitely kind of introduced the electronic sound initially, and then the way that it fell away made me feel like that was him saying, right, now this is what the album's going to be. So I'm quite intrigued to see if that carries on for the rest of the album.
The vibe from the start was not what I expected. It, as we alluded to in the track, felt a little bit more indie, but still MGK's voice, I don't know whether it's just his accent or the Americanisms, sounds punky still. So I wasn't quite sure how I felt about it. But I really enjoyed, especially the first half. The second little bit of the song, the last minute where it switched up to more just acoustic, was still cool. But that first section with those random electronic elements and different guitar riffs coming in and out, I really enjoyed.
Yeah, decent track all round, I reckon. It's probably the longest on the album as well, just over 5 minutes. But up next, we have Cliche, which I think was one of the singles.
Tell me, would you wait for me? Baby, I'm a roll.
I know which song this is. I know which song this is. This was the song that made everybody think, hang on, is MGK gone country?
Yeah. I remember seeing the dance on TikTok and stuff.
There's a lot of elements being added here. I can't lie. It's a catchy chorus.
It is. This proper reminds me of a 2000s radio pop song.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? It feels reminiscent for some reason, but I don't know why. Obviously, it's not.
Could have them claps in.
Oh, he didn't do it.
No clap there, man.
Playing, everyone.
That like working arpeggio in the background that's like a synth or something. It just keeps it ticking over. Something about it that's quite, I don't know, engaging.
I mean, it's a pop song, isn't it? It's clearly made for the radio. I don't think it feels particularly inspired. There wasn't much lyrical content in there. But if you want a pop song for the radio, I'm sure that my mum would absolutely love that song.
Yeah, it's a fun track, isn't it? I think you could put it in the realm of like Maroon 5 and that kind of music where it's just like, it's made to be played in a place where people aren't really listening to the music. It's just kind of this catchy background song.
Yeah,
I do think as far as songwriting goes, there's some good elements in there. I'll give it that much.
Yeah, and his vocals have been very solid as well throughout so far. I think the addition of the harmonies in both of the first two tracks has worked quite well.
And up next, we've got Don't Wait, Run Fast.
Oh, this feels different.
It's got a bit of edge to it.
Old school vibes. Come on.
How many of you really know you're alive? They pulled me over doing 135. Show me the money and I'll show you the light.
The lyrics are very country-esque, aren't they? Talking about motorways and being dead or alive. He's loving the synths. Loving the synths.
It adds a lot. I
does.
like it. Again, the guitar riffs, etc., feel really reminiscent. The thing that's brought it into the modern day was that synth note and this little guitar note in the background.
Higher up end, yeah. That snare's just carrying the whole beat, isn't it?
Those like heavier guitars work so well when that higher pitch riff comes in.
Mm-hmm.
I liked that. That little section there was sick because it was slowly building up in the background.
And then that stuttered back into it again.
I think that was the best track on the album so far for me. I did like the first one. Cliche was more of a chart track. Really enjoyed that. I thought the heavy guitars were good. Lots of different elements to pick up on.
The filters and the effects that they had on the guitars and the different instruments all worked really well together. Like you were saying, the crunchier guitar worked nicely with the clean, higher up notes that it was playing at the same time. And speaking on Cliche, I think I've just realised the reason it's called Cliche is because the track is a cliche. So I think that's kind of like a tongue-in-cheek meta comment to say, I know what this track is. That's why I've called it that. But up next, we have Godamn.
God damn. And if you are a Machine Gun Kelly fan, please do remember to hit like and subscribe. We've done a first listen where we both listened to Tickets to My Downfall for the first time together. We'll link that at the end of this video, but all we do here is talk about music. So if you're a music fan, hit the buttons. We would really appreciate it.
Goddamn, thought we had a chance. Slipped right through my fingers when I had it in my hands. Yeah,
He's already done a few tracks where he's really good at doing his vocals, so it's easy to remember and catchy.
This harmony voice sounds kind of like California 9 era Blink. Got that weird robotic feel to it. Synth's back. Feel like I'm on an alien spaceship. It
I am
works,
liking
though.
that production choice though.
Yeah, it works really nicely with the other aspects of the songs.
I think maybe there's been a few too many goddams at this point, I can't lie.
I mean, I can see why he's called the track that. Oh, that was a cool little build-up with a bit of distortion on the guitars. A bit hectic, a bit raucous. I think that track did what it needed to. I don't think it was particularly groundbreaking, but I think it carried on the vibe that we're on currently. You know, it came off the back of the last song, and brought it down a little bit, but didn't get rid of the distortion on the guitars, and it kind of kept that grunginess to it whilst kind of bringing the energy down.
Yeah, I think the production so far on this album has been fantastic, but this and Cliche, they're just missing that little bit of meaningful lyrics throughout the songs, you know what I mean? Like, that was fine, but I was kind of searching for something that I didn't really find. The production was still fine. In terms of the flow of the album, as you say, it took us down a notch, which I think it worked after a heavier track beforehand, but it was just missing a little something for me.
Up next, we've got Vampire Diaries, which I think was another single from the album.
I sleep against the bedroom wall. The sun comes out and I can't do nothing.
And also a fantastic TV show, according to many people.
Oh, yeah.
I don't really remember it.
No, I didn't really watch it, but I've heard people that did enjoy it, so...
Make it look so cool in stories, 'cause I can't leave till it's nighttime and I can't drink
Oh, this might have been the one with the dance.
the silver lining, but it'll
Was it?
kill me if I touch. Just
I don't know. There was a dance somewhere.
There was one of these songs had a dance, and MGK was doing the dance.
This song feels much more like older MGK in terms of not quite as heavy as Tickets to My Downfall, but this is the closest we've had so far with this little guitar chorus here.
Twilight reference, vampires.
As much as it is quite cringy, I kind of like the way that he's lent into the whole vampire thing at this point. Yeah, because they were drinking each other's blood and stuff, weren't they? And now he's just straight up writing songs about being a vampire.
Yeah, it's cool.
I was born to fly, but baby, I would die to run.
Fun track. There was a lot of references to vampires throughout the track, which I quite liked. You know, he was running on that theme. There was a lot of single words, like he said, Twilight, and he was talking about cut his wings, which has multiple meanings to it. And yeah, a fun track. Not my cup of tea personally. I think I liked the previous ones, but that was all right.
I didn't mind that. It kind of reminded me, or at least took us down a similar path to some of his older tracks, but just wasn't quite as heavy. Again, like I said for the last track, it was just missing a little more kick, a little more substance to it. Like, I'm really hoping that we get that in the next track, Miss Sunshine.
Different vibe entirely right away.
Switched it up. Feel much happier.
Hey, Miss Sunshine, I took a tab and felt the sky. 4 seats of 5 people about to take a roll the
Quite like that.
windows, rolling up, let's make a where's the volume? Turn it
Yeah, this feels like summer, doesn't it?
Yeah. It's got them good vibes about it.
just like we're dazed and confused, but we clean up.
I like the guitar following the vocal line there, doing those 3 notes. This has got those more country vibes to it, hasn't it?
Yeah, it does. It's so strange, this album, though, because I've not really known where to place it in terms of genre so far, because there's the chorus of this here is a little bit more country, but then the first bit was just like a pure, like, indie fun track. It's really, I'm not sure what's going on.
Fucking whiplash. Every song you're like, huh? What song is this now? But I mean, credit to the man, he's not letting himself be stuck in one genre. He's just saying, I'm just going to do what I want to do, which I respect.
It's just me avoiding boredom. I got to move.
Very, very different to everything we've heard so far. I mean, there was aspects of that in other songs, but we didn't have a full track that was kind of going down this more country, airy type vibe. I think it worked quite well. I think it broke the album up a little bit.
Yeah, that felt like summer. I quite enjoyed it. I thought the vibes were there. A little country, a little indie feeling. I still don't really know where to place it. My thought process, we're not even at the halfway point yet, but we've listened to 6 songs, and every song has been kind of in its own lane, which is really strange, but the album is still like gelled together quite well. I'm intrigued to see how many different vibes we get.
And up next is Sweet Coraline, not Caroline, which I keep thinking it is. Coraline or Coraline. I'm not quite sure how to pronounce it.
It's just the American version of Sweet Caroline, and I hate that track. So,
oh dear, oh dear.
the instrumental is cool.
It's that pop punk voice again as well. Very lethargic in how he's saying things. Almost slurred. Coraline.
Really like the instrumental, like the quicker delivery there.
Man's going with the bars there almost, wasn't it? The delivery there was very, like, machine gun. Kelly.
We've not actually listened to an MGK rap album on here yet, and I'd quite like to do that at some point because obviously that's what he was doing for years, and apparently Hotel Diablo and stuff are really good, but I've never sat and listened to them all, so let us know if that should be a first listen in the comments.
Is it just me or is it the vocals completely left panned right now?
There's like a little voice going on.
I thought the song was still going. Okay.
He loves doing that kind of talking outro on the occasional track, doesn't he? To try and make it seem a bit more candid, like it's just, oh, oops, I messed up. Just keep that in.
Yeah, I mean, I wonder if that is actually just the case, if he just did think the track was still going.
I can imagine it was, and then he said, that's quite funny, just leave that on the track.
Yeah. My problem with this album so far is none of it has offended me, but I'm still just waiting. Like, I'm waiting for something exciting to happen. I'm waiting for it to get me going. Do you know what I mean?
There really hasn't been a single track that's been that standout track that's like, oh, okay, this is what this album's about. It's all kind of, like you're saying, it's not offensive, but there's nothing that's gripped me yet. Nothing has made me go, whoa, that's like so like different to what he's done before. Whilst it is in a different vein and a different style, it's very reminiscent of his previous stuff. And don't get me wrong, not terrible, but I do want to hear something with a bit more, I don't know, just something that grabs me.
Yeah, so far it's just been passable. There's been some great production elements. The vocals have been fine. There's nothing that's like bad, but I just want something more.
Up next, we've got Indigo. This sounds and feels more like a rap track. So we're going to get something like that?
Could be.
Or the drum's going to kick in a sec?
This feels like the opposite of real life. On my way to Valhalla on a steel bike.
I like the beat. I really like the beat.
Some pretty introspective bars as well.
Yeah, quite
A bit
deep.
more content here.
The hook's alright as well, and I like that it introduces this acoustic guitar that's just subtly in the mix, but it kind of ties it into the rest of the album, because otherwise it's just a rap track.
Quite like the direction that went in. It didn't really fit the vibe of the rest of the album in any way, shape or form, but that's not the first time we've said that. But clean flow, some introspective moments. I quite enjoyed it.
There were elements in there that kind of harked back to the previous tracks on the album, like I was saying, with the acoustic guitar that came in on the hook and those sorts of things. But yeah, another track where you think, what's he doing with this? I mean, he's just having fun, but I can't really put my finger on what direction this album's going in or how we're supposed to be receiving it, if you know what I mean. Like how we're supposed to respond to this. Because it's kind of, like I was saying before, it's very whiplashy, where we've had about 4 genres so far. And like I say, none of them have been offensive. But in terms of the album cohesion, it seems a bit all over the place currently.
I would completely agree. But up next is Starman.
I can't even see you cause the room's full of smoke. I don't wake up until the sun gets low. 7 billion people, but we all die alone. So I want something else.
See, this is back
to get me through this. Semi-charm kind of
Yeah,
life.
yeah.
Baby, I want something else.
It's a callback to Semi-Charmed Life. Again, nice drum mastering. I think it's nice.
Cool electronic synth elements again.
That was good. Oh, nice. Whoa.
It feels full now, doesn't it?
I like that he's interloping those lyrics and that vocal melody from another track, but the instrumental's entirely different. Gives it a different feel. This is a weird, like, SoundCloud remix of two
I'm
tracks.
not sure.
Oh. Could have done without the doo-doo-doos in there.
I think this song epitomizes how I felt about the album so far, though. There's like a really cool moment, and then just a few moments like this.
I get it, because that's from the original track that he's borrowing from, but it just doesn't fit. Wasn't really a fan of that one. I liked some aspects of it. I liked the bits that weren't calling back to that other song. But that do from Semi-Charmed Life just took me out of this track entirely.
Yeah, there was some elements I liked again. The production was interesting in moments. The guitar riffs were good, but I don't know, man. Like, if we weren't listening to this album in this setting, I'd turn it off now.
I would have already turned this off, yeah.
Yeah, I'm not trying to be rude. Like, I really like some of MGK's work, but I just think the next up is the 10th track. I've not had anything that's really blew me away. For me, the best on the track was still the third. Don't wait. What's that? Don't wait, run fast. Yeah, apart from that, snooze fest.
It's not even that it's a snooze fest. It's just that it's so painfully mid.
It's just
bland.
bland. I mean?
Yeah.
It's
There's
just
not
bland.
And with that last track, I liked that he was trying to swap it up a little bit, but the way that he did it just wasn't the one. And yeah, there's just not a whole lot going on. So tell me what's up, Joe. That's next.
You don't have to say that's next after. That's what ruins it.
What do you mean that's what ruins it?
That's what ruins it. It's like,
Yeah, I know, but if people didn't know that's what
I look
was
at
up
what I did.
next. Yeah, but if
It's
people
gonna
didn't
come
know
up.
that, if they didn't know,
It's going to come up.
where? Down here?
Yeah.
All right, okay.
I was in first, codependent. When I'm isolated, I'm reminded that the voices I silenced are still coexistent. I watched porn and was mad I did it. Went to church, put extra in the collection plate just for sinning.
See, I liked that. Those were some good bars
Yeah, they
there.
were
Very
very good.
introspective and actually meaningful.
Everybody sucks. Agoraphobic in this house don't help much. I'm going rogue from the Illuminati theories about how I've been winning. My soul was always prone to new beginnings. They told me pick a genre, I picked them all and flow with whatever moves me like
You
I'm
did
swimming.
pick every
But I'm just
genre,
one
to be
of
fair.
many artists trying to spark a renaissance of speaking our thoughts so we can stop pretending. Tell me what the fuck's up. I don't want
I'm really enjoying this so far. Them two verses were great.
this house don't help much.
Gives you a little bit of insight to who he is and how he's dealing with life as a person.
Everybody sucks. Agoraphobic in this house don't help much. Gang, gang, yeah. Tell me what the fuck's up. I don't wanna go.
This has been like very straightforward, but very good. Just to the point, calm beat, simple, bringing elements in and out.
Not too much going on.
I don't wanna go out. Everybody sucks. Agoraphobic in this house don't help much. Don't need nothing but cheeseburgers. If you know, you know. Yeah. Day ones.
Contender for possibly my favourite track on the album so far.
Yeah, I think that was my favourite track. He just did what he can do very well, kept it simple, clean bars, introspective again. Definitely the high point for me.
I think it was very good in the way of the message that he was getting across. What he was trying to say was portrayed in a way that was understandable and easily digestible. And also his flow was pretty fucking good on that, you know? I liked it.
Pretty fucking good. What's up next, Tim?
Up next, we've got Can't Stay Here. Oh, I like that. Little harmonised acoustic going on.
He was a fairy.
Somewhere between another good night and my own apathy. the last call.
He's pulling out the vocals here.
I spend my last dime.
There's much less auto-tune in there.
I don't care where you go, but you can't stay here.
That was a cool little bum, bum, bum.
Yeah, I'd say this has definitely been his cleanest vocals on the album so far.
I like that higher harmony there. It's nice.
Can't stay here.
Fine. I feel like, to be honest, this album sucked the life out of me. I enjoyed the last track with the rap elements and the great flow, but I just feel like I've heard enough of this now. I've heard enough of that exact sound. Do you know what I mean? I want to fucking go home, and I'm sat in my own home.
Yeah, it's getting to the point now where I'm kind of thinking we've got 3 songs left. I'm really hoping for something groundbreaking. Like we both said, the last track I think was probably my favorite of the entire album. The one we've just listened to there. Great vocals. He had really good vocals on that track. I did think that he knocked it out of the park there. I thought he'd done a really good job. But the track itself, it wasn't really any context, not context to it. There wasn't really any content. It was just very samey and repeated, and there was some cool synth work going on again, but that's been throughout the album. I just really want something, I don't even know. I can't even explain it, but I agree with you where at this point I'm kind of thinking,
Do you know what? The next title explains perfectly what this album is doing.
It's treading water. Sounds like when you're on Xbox Live and you got shit connection.
I'm begging for it to inject some energy. Begging.
Here? Nope. Back to disconnected microphone. I mean, he's achieved peacefulness with this track so far.
Looking at the kids' faces, sitting in the driveway while I pack up suitcases. I just ruined their holiday, and lies don't die, they grow.
Like some cool production elements. That was really nice, the way that it's built up a few little instruments coming in, but
And I liked the ever-increasing drum beat as well.
maybe it is building up to something.
Change for our daughter so she's not alone. Oh, what a life to live when you're dying for someone to give you their love.
A guitar solo time.
I've been hiding from the ideation that the public has a ruining my reputation, and it's crazy seeing quotations from a source that somebody curated. Cause for me, y'all could feel pure hatred, but just keep our baby out this situation. It's a long road to
The rap sections have been the best part of this album.
Yeah, genuinely.
But the journey doesn't come without the frustrations, like it doesn't come without the temptations. And failure can lead to an elevation, cause sometimes you gotta see what's waiting on the other side to know your soul's worth saving.
I would have loved for it to just hit
Yeah.
then. You know, like a big, like how it did before.
Really like some parts of that. The verses, the rap verses were good again. When it introduced a little bit more energy for 30 seconds, I quite enjoyed that. But even in that section, I felt like for the first time in the album, actually, the production wasn't very good in the heavier section. It felt like his voice got completely lost, and it just seemed like it was like an overwhelming amount of things were happening, but they weren't mixed in very well.
I think I quite liked that aspect because I felt like it made it feel a bit more raw and it made it feel more like a band that was doing it. And this song is definitely more heartfelt. You know, he's talking about his daughter and what I presume to be his previous relationship with his daughter's mother. So there was a lot more, introspectiveness to it. And Yeah, I think it was heartfelt, and I think that part where the whole band kicked in felt raw and kind of like he was putting his emotions on show. Although I would have absolutely killed for him to have that energy come back in at the end after those rap verses, because that would have just topped it off nicely.
Yeah.
But that ending was very lackluster for me.
I was gonna say I literally went boom, thinking it was gonna kick off just for another little 20 seconds at the end, but no, we didn't get it. But Tim, what is up next?
We've got Orpheus. Have we had piano so far? Yeah, we've had piano, haven't we?
But not to this point where it's clearly one of the focal points.
We grew a tree back in the garden.
I'm worried.
With a celestial
I'm worried. that's a good aspect to go into the song with.
The sun rose high and killed our shadow.
Good vocals. Good vocals.
The girl Orpheus knew he'd die for. Go to the underworld and fight for.
Is this a song for like a weird game or something? What's Orpheus?
No, it's. I want to say somebody's going to kill me for this. Greek mythology. I think it's Greek, or it's some kind of mythology.
To get back to you. Just for this moment, can I hold you? Feel your heartbeat till it fades. And in this moment, it's me and you.
Strings coming in.
I will love you for all my days. For all
I do feel like there's been a lot more heartfelt personal moments on the second half of the album, which is quite nice to see him do that. And I know that he's got sober and stuff recently. He's referenced that a fair few times. Strangely, on this track, one of the writing credits is Megan Fox. Interesting.
I do like the use of a lot of orchestral instruments on this, and also in a non-standard way. You've got the scratching strings of like a violin.
Yeah, I've
with the
actually quite
cello.
liked the last two because they've been calm, but they've felt more personal. I've been able to dive into the lyrics a little bit more, so I feel like I've
Oh, a bit discordo
bit of
piano.
horror
there.
going on. Yeah, personal touch again. Cool to see that him and Megan Fox wrote that. Obviously, given the theme of the song about relationships, etc. I think that was quite good. Again, it was still missing a little bit of a kick for me, but it was more than good enough.
Yeah, whilst I was waiting for the energy, I don't think that is particularly a bad track, even though I would like something more energetic. Like you're saying, I think the heartfeltness is done very well. And it seems like a very genuine track. That's the word I want to use for that. And I'm all for genuine music.
I think my yearn for energy doesn't particularly... It comes from the album as a whole. If you took that track individually, it's a good song.
Yeah, definitely. But the final track on the album is Cliche. We had that at track number 2.
Well,
is this going to be like a reprise or
remix? Oh. Is it just the music video?
it's just a music video? Apple Music's fully cooked us there. So the last track was not Cliche. That was track 2. Apple Music just has it listed as a track, but it's actually just the music video.
But that means that Orpheus was the last song, and that actually makes a hell of a lot of sense now. And I think that was a good last song for the album. But Tim, tell me some thoughts, honest thoughts on the album as a whole.
I think he's definitely tried to go in a new direction here and kind of move away from the sound that he was putting himself in, because to me, MGK seems like an artist who does not like to be shoehorned into a genre. It seems like he's just doing the music that he wants to do. Whilst on the last 2 albums, it was a lot more of a pop-punk vibe, and there were other elements in there. This one felt like there was bits of country, there's little bits of indie in there. There's definitely bits of pop-punk still. It's got rap in there. There was a whole selection of things, but I do think that he could have executed it a lot better than he did. I felt like there was a lot of mismatching going on, and not really as songs individually. I'm sure people will enjoy those. As an album and a project as a whole, I don't think there was much cohesion. And for me, I'm big on track listings, and for that, it felt all over the place.
MGK tried with Lost Americana, but he didn't quite get it. I think the best elements of the album were actually the rap elements. I really enjoyed those. There were some heartfelt moments, and there was actually some really good production throughout. I just, similar to you, think that the way that the album flowed was completely all over the place. I didn't know what was coming next. There was some moments where I was getting really bored because we'd had just calm, not particularly great vocals on some tracks, but then some tracks were calm with really good introspective vocals, and I was just, I don't know, it felt all over the place. That's the only way I can describe it, and for that reason, it's not an album that I particularly want to go re-listen to as an album. I think, to be fair, there's one or two songs that I might end up adding to my playlist that I'm going to go re-listen to, but that's about as far as it goes for me.
Yeah, I think like it is just tracks. You can pick a couple of tracks from this that you enjoy. I mean, if you love MGK, I could see you really enjoying this album because I feel like there might be a lot more deep lore in there that we're not quite getting ourselves. A lot of the lyrics did seem very targeted because there was that bit like, if you know, you know, like if you understand what I'm saying. There was a lot of that kind of like vibe going on. But yeah, as a whole, not one I'd return to. Will I add a couple of songs to my playlist? Probably not, but I will say Orpheus as an outro track, really good. I very much enjoyed that.
Yeah, there was some highlights, but there wasn't even many lowlights as such. There wasn't any time where I thought this is unbelievably bad. It was just existing, and just existing for 8 of the, was it 13 songs, isn't quite enough for me to get excited.
Like the words painfully mid is where it was. And the reason why it was painfully mid, not painful because it was a pain to listen to, painful because there is so much potential there and he could have done so much more if he'd have just fine-tuned the sound that he was going for and kind of nailed it, I guess.
I think the thing that saddens me a little bit about it as well, obviously Tickets to My Downfall was an amazing album in my opinion, and I think a lot of pop punk fans have kind of come round to that, or even Machine Gun Kelly fans just in general love that. And then Mainstream Sellout was not a fantastic album, but it had some very good singles, but it still went down a level. And then we had that genre sad boy with Trippie Redd, which is one of the worst things ever made. So this does go up a little bit from there.
The trajectory is upwards.
Yeah, but it's still not reaching the heights that he hit 4 years ago. That makes me slightly concerned for MGK. This was better than Genre Sad Boy, but I think we could make something better than Genre Sad Boy with no instruments and no beats.
Just us just making noises with our mouths.
This is it. This is better. Yeah. This is a better album.
But if you think that we should go back and listen to Hotel Diablo, considering what we're thinking of the most recent albums, please do let us know in the comments, because that is something that we'd be interested in doing. I think it would be really good for us to dive into the rap side of MGK rather than the new era of MGK.
Yeah, and also let us know what you thought of Lost Americana in the comments, because maybe we missed some bits that were made for his fan base. Maybe we missed some moments. Maybe there's a track that you love that we didn't. Always up for hearing and learning more.
And please don't forget to like and subscribe. We do all sorts of videos here. We've done, like we mentioned, Tickets to My Downfall as a full review. So go and check that out if you enjoy MGK. Thank you very much for watching.
Peace.